Okay, hello everyone. I know it's been a little while. I just wanted to give an update and then talk about some stuff that's been on my mind. So let's start with looking over where I am. I think we left off around 10K, and where we stand now is about 6,800 in the 401k. I did put $1,000 into my bank savings account. I'll talk about that. There's a couple little, I have little counts with like 100, 200 in there. I'm not going to count those. 12,000 in my M1 stock portfolio and 7,600 in Fundrise real estate, and along with 5K in cash. So that brings me to about 32,400, give or take. Again, I'm not counting all the little stuff, and I'm rounding off, so about 32,500, which is pretty good progress from where we stopped back at $10,000. But I did want to go over kind of how this has affected me. I'm not going to talk about, at least not in this video, about what happened between when I stopped making videos and when this virus thing kicked off. But I wanted to talk specifically about the virus part of it, just to give you kind of my lessons learned. Hopefully you'll find something helpful that maybe I made a mistake and you won't make it, or I did something right and you can use that for your own circumstances. So we'll just start with the negative here. The biggest negative is credit card. Kind of a funny story. So during the holidays, I had stuff that I had been waiting to get, right? I was going to get it anyways. It wasn't impulse buying. And I waited for the sales. And I did get the sales, and I saved money, which is good. But what happened was, I said, okay, I'm going to get this stuff now, and it'll take me, rather than paying it all off that month, okay, it'll take me 2 months to pay it off. No big deal. So, I got the stuff during the sales. And the sales, you were talking about the holiday season. So when I say 2 months, I don't mean starting in, exactly 1 month. I mean, a couple months from when the sale, was over for that item. So I had just started carrying a balance. I said, okay, I'm doing well. 2 months, I can do this. It's not that big a deal. So then what happens in the beginning of the year, January, February timeline? Well, the oil war between the Saudis and Russia and the U.S. So what that meant is it really took a dip on, and there were suddenly these really great deals on stocks. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to pay off the full credit card balance. I'll pay some of it, but then I'll put some of this towards stocks, and I'll take advantage of this great buying opportunity, right? Okay. So then what happened, the next month? Well, then this virus thing hit. So what does that mean? That means now you're looking and you're going, there might not be, well, there definitely wasn't toilet paper or paper towels, but there might not be food. We don't know what's going to happen. I was, let's say, 80 to 85% prepared for this, right? But there was a number of items that I just hadn't had in stock. I neglected to maintain my stock of that. And we're talking about things like food, right? Specific medicine for like the flu, which I don't get the flu. Can't remember the last time I got the flu. Close to 10 years probably. So I just didn't have any of that stuff. I didn't have any flu medicine. And now we're in a situation where I might have to maybe take care of somebody who's sick, and I don't have any medicine for that. So I had to buy some medicine. I had to buy food, specifically certain types of food that I just didn't keep a stock of, which I should have. The basics, things like flour and milk. I do have a deep freezer, and you can freeze flour, you can freeze milk, butter, meat. You can freeze all that stuff and rotate it. And I just had gotten away from it. So I had to buy food. Yeah, I bought some gas cans because I didn't know what the gas situation was going to be like. I wanted a couple more so that I could have a full tank worth of gas if I needed it. And so that tacked onto it. So now instead of 2 months worth of credit card, now I'm looking at, 3, potentially 4 if something else happens. So it's not too bad. It's not a huge amount, It didn't really, not that I'm going to buy anything, but it didn't really ding my credit that much. But it's still a balance, and I'm still paying interest on it, and it goes against what we are supposed to be doing, right? Don't carry that debt. It's just it was unforeseen. Who knew that every time one of these events happened, it would lead to another event. So okay, whatever. We accept it, take it on chin, move on. That's my mistake. I do hope and expect to have that all paid off within 3 to 4 months. And another lesson learned was about splitting up your savings. So what I mean by that is you have your emergency account, right? Whatever, it's $1,000, let's say. And then stocks go on sale. So what are you tempted to do? Well, you're tempted to borrow from that emergency fund because it's such a great deal on stocks, you want to jump on it, right? So what I had to learn the hard way is they're not the same. You cannot treat them the same. And luckily, I didn't get into a situation where I needed the emergency fund, but I wouldn't have had it if I needed it because I jumped on these stocks. What I should have done and what I absolutely have done now is I've split them up. So I took the emergency fund, which I keep in my that's in my bag. That's just a small buffer because if I overdraw my checking account or I have to overdraw my checking account, then it'll pull from that buffer. And I won't get overdraft fees and I won't go into a line of credit. So that's a small emergency fund, right? That's just mainly for things like you forgot you had a bill due, or you get a bill once a year that you forget about. That will take care of that emergency situation. And then I also have a separate little fund that's my emergency stock buying fund. So you put in what you put in on a monthly basis, but you want to have a little bit of money left over so that if a stock goes on sale, you can jump on it. You don't want to mix those two up. I learned that the hard way. I wasn't paying attention. Learned my lesson, split those up. Now they're two different things. My emergency is for emergency, and my good opportunity stock fund, we'll call it, is separate. Also, I didn't have a lot of cash. I just didn't need it at the time. It wasn't really a priority. And now I realize that it should have been higher on my priority list. So between tax return and the stimulus that I did get, those funds are saved. I haven't touched them. So that's going to be a emergency fund, and I have probably about 3 months worth of bills so far. I'm going to aim for 6. Luckily, my job situation is good. I don't anticipate it. They haven't said anything insinuating that people are going to be laid off. In fact, they came out and said they are absolutely not planning to lay anybody off. They're well positioned. It's a well-led company, and I'm thankful for that. But I still, because you never know, I am still holding cash, which means I'm not investing as much. The past 2 months, I think I've only put in maybe $500 between stocks and Fundrise. So the 401k gets pulled automatically. That's different. But I have not put a lot manually into the system, into my investments, because I'm holding cash. And I think it really sucks because I'm losing so much opportunity for these discounted stocks. But, I have to be the mature, responsible adult and have my ducks in a row in case things go from bad to worse. And I also have the side job. I still have done that a little bit, not as much. When I did, the money was pretty good, and then they kind of leveled out the supply and demand, and it's not really all of that profitable anymore. I mean, for a while, on a side job, I was making over $30 an hour, and now it's back down to probably about half of that, which is normal. And there just isn't a lot of work anymore because they've hired more people. That's fine. I took advantage of it. I got a little bit extra money. I did useful things with that money. So it was there when I needed it. If I need it again, I can always go back and work. I can, anytime I want, I can get up and put myself on the schedule and go do it.